PMI.
K8PMI, this is KB8TPQ. Good morning, Phil, and all the netizens and listeners in. Thank you for getting to me quick. Yeah, that treadmill's just watching me here, wondering if I'm going to give it some attention. Yeah, I appreciate you letting me in first here. Yeah, today we don't have any weddings or anything in the family, so I'm going to try to catch up with my little garden and my health enough to be out and about. So good to hear you. I'll head over to that treadmill and I'll be listening in. You guys keep me going while I'm trying to get my couple miles in. KB8TPQ, back to net control. All right, you have a good workout. We'll be clear with KB8TPQ, and let's head down to Jacksonville, W8JAX and K8AMJAX. You're up next on the Barometer Net.
Well, good morning there, Phil, and to all on the Barometer Net. Here is W8JAX, Portable Pedestrian, along with...
Good morning, Phil. This is K8JAX, and the sun's coming up, and it's going to warm up to, 75 today. Yeah. So I think we're going to have a good day. I hope your day's just as nice.
Yeah, beautiful day starting out here down in Jacksonville. Not a cloud in the sky. And if my memory serves me correct, and it doesn't always serve me correct, but I think you were coming down to Miami this past week. So maybe I'm wrong about that. But anyway, got to see another night launch, the second night launch of the week here in Jacksonville. It's always a beautiful sight to see. It was a Falcon 9 rocket took off from Cape Canaveral last night at about 10:08. And there was one that took off on Tuesday as well. So two night launches. They're the best to see. It never gets old. Okay, with that, I'll turn it back to net. Everyone have a great weekend. W8JAX, Portable Pedestrian.
All right, we'll be clear with the JAXs. And yes, I was in Miami yesterday, I think. Might have been the day before. I can't remember. These days all run together. But, yeah, it was nice down there. We were about 75, sunny or partly cloudy. So it's nice to get a break from up here and go down there quite frequently. So have a good day, and we'll catch you on down the log. Let's head on out to Tulsa. K5 CFY. You're up next on the Saturday morning edition of the Barometer Net.
CFY. Good morning, Phil. Thanks for getting me in there. Not much going on here today. Looks like it's going to be another pretty day here in northeast Oklahoma, but probably play a little radio, and I think there's a couple of contest things going on. I'll try to make that, but yeah, of course, I think I have the first hour of the Border Breaker Net, but anyway, good to hear you in there, Phil. Thanks for doing the net. We appreciate it, and I'll give it back to you. Let you get some more check-ins. 73, all take care. K5 CFY.
All right, Ray, thank you very much, and it's good to hear you, and I love catching your boredom breaker nets over there now that I got Node set up in the office as well, so I've been joining on that a couple times. That's a great little net you got going out there every noon our time, or 1 o'clock, I can't even remember, but yeah, and then joining up, it's an awesome thing. So we'll catch you on down the log there, Ray. I'm just going to go knock out the first 10 that I heard this morning, then I'll call for any short timer mobiles again, so we can get the people that are running to Home Depot or Lowe's to pick up supplies to do around the work around the house. But the first one I heard this morning was W8TD. John, you're up next on the Barometer Net.
Well, how about that? Good morning, all. KPMI in the group. W8TD. Not much to report. Looking for the last warm day. Try to spend a little bit of time outside and try to appreciate that. Not much going on radio-wise. Well, Fred was talking the other day about maybe trying to do a little bit of simplex in the area. I'm operating off of indoor antennas here now, one upstairs and one downstairs. But I do have a radio in the shack hooked up to an antenna that I can remote into and use it. However, it's horizontal. I use it for FT8 and single sideband on 2 meters. So I went ahead and remoted into it, and I'm watching it this morning to see who all I can hear simplex with that set up, and I haven't heard anybody yet. It's not going to fly. There is a spare VHF UHF antenna on another mast that isn't currently hooked up to anything. So I guess I need to go out there and trace cables and find the end of that one and hook that one to the transverter, and then Monday morning I'll listen with that. See if I can hear enough people to make me feel encouraged about simplex operation. Right now I don't believe I could effectively do it with anything that's currently connected. But we'll see. Talk to everybody. Everybody have a good weekend. Everybody enjoy the warmth today. And try to stay warm after that. Best of luck. KPMI in the group. W8TD.
All right, we'll be clear with W8TD. You have a good Saturday there, John, and I'm sure we'll catch you on Monday. And let's see, part of the dog pound I heard real early, KC8 FQV, you were up nice and early this morning. What do you got for the net? You're up next. This is K8PMI.
Well, morning, Phil. KC8FQV. Yeah, it was. So, yeah, I didn't make it out to the Wooster group on Thursday night. I planned to, but this week it's Sarah, and I do have to go out there to get my apparel. So other than that, not much else. Well, I got my Temu order. Yeah, I got 4 little things. I got a dongle you can plug into the phone for reading memory cards and SD cards and that. Yeah, or you can plug into a computer. And I got a body camera. I got that. I haven't had it. Well, I haven't had it on. But now I see they got other ones. They got one I could put around my, they got glasses ones, and they have ones I could, I might get one that goes around my head. That where I would rather have the camera not be down on the body. But, yeah, everything else is going good. I think I got to do some things today outside and get ready for winter. So, other than that, yeah, I wonder if anyone's going over to Fort Wayne today. I venture to say not. I'm not going to go to Fort Wayne. They have their Amfest this weekend. So, found a few more nets to check into out there. The coffee cup break out in California. So, well, and I found my old net. My old net I used to check into the morning grind, so I found them on Allstar. So, well, yeah, I'm thinking about getting the Node. I just have to be encouraged by not people harassing and saying, what are you listening to, or whatever and whatever and whatever. So I like the guy. And then he said, now it's a net. Okay, self-QV.
right, Mark, we'll be clear with KC8FQV, and you're always welcome here, Mark. You're our Mark, so we understand you. So we'll catch you probably on the radio Monday. Take care, Mark. You have a great day. Let's head on over to Waynesburg because John's not at work, from what I heard this morning. NAYMY, you in the garage starting your morning work? This is K8PMI.
K8PMI, yeah, that's exactly where I'm at. Out here in the garage. I got the side gig going on here today. Cat furniture. Got my grandbaby. She stayed overnight, so she kind of put a halt to my tower project last night. I'm going to finish it up today. I got my Mosley Classics and my GP9 mounted on my crank-up tower, and I got it back up in the air. I just don't have it cranked up. I got to do a rotor rotation on it, make sure that's all good, and just button a few things up, and then I'm going to go ahead and crank her back up to about 55, 60 foot and try her out tonight. So going to be in the garage working for a little while today, go take the granddaughter to breakfast, and then go play with the beams. So I got a fun day today. So you have a great day, Phil. We'll talk to you soon. N8YMY.
All right, John, we'll be clear with you, and that sounds like an awesome day. Yep, I think I'm going to be taking my granddaughter out for dinner, although I don't have to pay for anything. She's still on a bottle, but just to have her next to you and while you're eating is one of the best things in the world. So you enjoy, my friend, and we'll catch you probably Monday morning early. All right, let's head out to John in Elyria. Hopefully you're still there and not doing your 21 steps. AC8AT, this is K8PMI. You're up next on Barometer Net.
W8PMI, AC8AT. Top of the morning to you there, Phil. Elyria's 52 degrees, feels like 49, 87% humidity, and light winds, 8 miles an hour out of the south. And between 5 and 6 this evening, there's a slight chance of rain. But we have a high of 62 today. Man, this is like going to be one of the last days before it really gets chilly out there. So I hope everybody enjoys that. Back to you, Phil. W8, I think it's W8PMI, AC8AT, and top of the morning to all.
Well, the top of the morning to you, John. And thank you very much for what you do with your prayer list. We greatly appreciate it. And help my granddaughter out. We greatly appreciate it. So we'll be clear with AC8AT. And let's head on out to the North Coast. Chris was up early. KE8MMY. You sitting in the back there drinking your coffee, looking at the lake. We need a lake report, too. So this is K8PMI. You're up next, Chris.
K8PMI, this is KE8MMY. Good morning. Great to hear you. Great to actually get on the net here. Some mornings are busier than others, but I am enjoying this one, and it is nice and warm. Scott might have the lake report for you because he can see it from his house. I'm not too far. I'm a few blocks back, but it has some nice weather for us. And so there's some things that I need to get pulled out of the ground, and it's going to be a great weekend for that. It was a little under the weather during the week, but I'm on the mend. So good to hear everybody, and we will catch up with you on down the log. KE8MMY. Back to these nets.
KE8MMY. Thank you very much, Chris. And yep, I got Scott on the list, and I'll get my Lake Erie report from him definitely So hopefully you're feeling better. I know what it's like. I've been fighting my sinuses here for like a week and a half. It's ridiculous. All right, Bill, NAWS will be first up, but I just want to take a break here to get short timer mobiles that are out there, because this pre-check-in list is pretty long and I don't want to miss anybody. So anybody that's short time, in and out, or mobile, call now. I'm listening. This is K8PMI.
Echo 8 Victor Yankee Alpha. I am short time mobile.
All right, I knew there'd be somebody out there. Can you repeat your call? And you're up next. This is K8PMI.
That was Kilo Echo 8 Victor Yankee Alpha. Colt.
Go ahead.
Good morning, everyone. Just wanted to say hi real quick. I'm about to pull into work and figured that'd be a good chance to, I was hoping to go in and out at least later on, but I figured if there's a call for it, I'll at least stop in and say hi. So really enjoy listening to everyone, and don't always get a chance to check in, but enjoy listening and planning on being at the meeting this week. So hope everyone has a good day and a good week if I am not able to check in later on. So I'll send it back to Net. Thanks for running it. This is KE8VYA.
W8WKY.
KE8VYA. Thank you very much, and don't be a stranger and check in. Glad I'm starting to break this up a little bit so I can catch the people that are shooting work that only have 15, 20 minutes, because with the pre-check-in list we have, it gets pretty long. So thanks a lot. I will not be at the meeting Thursday. I got to go to New York. Wish I was rather go to the meeting, but that's the way life is. All right, take care, Colt. Let's get the National Weather Service in here, NAWS, and then I will go over to Mark WB6BJN to get his weather, so that way everybody's caught up with everything that's going on. So, NAWS, you're up next on the Saturday morning edition of the Barometer Net. This is K8PMI. All right, nothing heard. We're going to circle back with Bill. Let's get on over to Mark, WB6BJN. Let's hear what the problem is with this barometer dropping. This is K8PMI.
Good morning, Phil, WB6BJN. Well, the problem is weather is going to get pretty rough, I believe. And this goes back to what's going on the West Coast for next week. And it's there's some storms. There's a train of storms, Phil, that is as they cross the Rockies. And as folks know, in the Midwest and the East, and in my study of weather in the Mid-South, that becomes a whole new animal when they get across the Rockies and start picking up moisture from the Gulf. They've already got sufficient moisture out of Hawaii in the form of atmospheric rivers, lots of flooding in the West. Let me give my conditions first, and then we'll talk about this from west to east, and partly north to south as well. Already 60.8 degrees here in Clarksville. 60.8. Yesterday we were at 39.9 degrees. That was the low. This morning's low has been about 56 degrees, so much, much warmer this morning. Humidity 84%, a little drier. Dew point 56 degrees on the dew point. 2 gusting to 3 out of the southeast on the wind. No rain. And, the dew point right now is 55.9. Mostly clear skies. That's going to change over the next few days. So, what's happening? Let me take a break. I'm pumped up about this weather situation because it's a very interesting situation. High pressure, the dominant feature over the middle part of the nation, the Mid-South, and the East. That's why it's warmer this morning. So that's why a lot of you guys are experiencing 50-plus degree temperatures, 68, 60, almost 61 degrees here. And that's going to change because that's warm air ahead of a cold front, which is going to swoop down tonight from the north. It's not a big Arctic thing, but it will shave temperatures off, and temperatures could drop down into the 30s and 40s over lots of the Midwest. There could be a few showers, some mixed with rain and snow over the Midwest, but not a whole lot. It's not a huge cold front, but it is a cold front and it's drier. So cooler temperatures on Sunday. Then warm air advection starts all over again Monday ahead of all of those storms. The first one comes through the Rockies, gets pushed out of California by another system moving into California on Monday. So the big storm in the train makes it into the Midwest starting Monday, Tuesday, and into Wednesday. And there could be some heavy rain in places. Chicago could get some rain. You guys could get some rain. The big wet weather story, though, starts about the middle of next week to the end of next week. We're going to have to be very careful in the Mid-South part of the nation because a lot of warm air coupled with cooler air kind of coming in from the north, that has the potential to produce some severe weather. Severe thunderstorms, tornadoes are a possibility. That's still a ways out, but by the 19th or 20th we could have that. There could also be some wet weather and maybe some rain and snow mixed in the Midwest. So things are going to change, and it'll be interesting to see what unfolds with this changing weather pattern. And listen out for some longer range stuff off of YouTube last night, and they're expecting at the end of November the polar vortex could start to split, and there could be upper what they call stratospheric warming. And when there is stratospheric warming in the upper levels, the polar vortex comes toward the United States. I know that sounds funny, but that cold air has to go somewhere, and that severe Arctic cold could come into parts of the Midwest and East and even the Mid-South by the end of November, the beginning of December. Nothing going on in the tropics, and Bill, that is it for me. Lots of interesting stuff coming. There's 3 to 4 systems built up in the west, and those all have to move east, and so it could be a long-term pattern change for the Midwest, the Mid-South, and the East. Back to you, sir. WB6DJ.
WB6BJN. Thank you very much, there, Mark. And good detailed weather. Let's head on over to Tom, WAAGXX, see if he's still around, and see what he's got going on this morning. Tom, you're up next. This is K8PMI.
Good morning, Phil. Sounding good. Hope you have a good day. Thanks for being there. Looks like it's going to be nice until the rain hits later, maybe 5 p.m. So, yeah, I got to work on leaves. Haven't been able to do that because of work, but have a good one. K8PMI, WAGXX.
All right, Tom, thanks a lot. We'll be clear with WA8GXX. Now let's get the other two-thirds of the dog pound in here. We already had FQV. Let's head on over to Middlemark, K4OG. What do you got going on this weekend? I heard you're doing some ham stuff, so give us the details. This is K8PMI.
K8PMI, K4OG. Good morning, Phil and everyone. Well, the details are bittersweet, Phil. After Dave does some piano thing this morning, he's going to give me a call, and we're going to go over to his house. We got together, and we're going to put up a dedicated space on his modest tower to test Jim's Attic Masters. So that's great. I'm glad to get that in fruition. But I had to tell the wife, she's off today, and I was going to let her know my plans. And I would be kind of out of pocket, being a tower climber. And that my short career as a tower climber is coming to an end. After this, she made me promise to God and on our marriage that I would stop climbing towers. She's okay with the bucket truck, though, so that's cool. She's concerned with my Meniere's disease. It's a vertigo thing. So she's got a point. And I told her, I was like, with every step and every cable harness snap, I'm always thinking about that. So, but, yeah, we'll get this done today, and then I guess, if I respect the promises I made to her, this will be my last little tower climb. So it'll be good to see everybody there. We're going to get together afterwards at Brighton Brew House in Copley and have a libation and probably a sandwich or a snack or something. So it's a bittersweet day, Phil. K4OG, back to net.
K4OG. Well, that's why we have wives. They keep us from killing ourselves. So you have a good one. Just remember that. So, yeah, we don't bounce like we used to. So, all right, we'll be clear with K4OG. Let's head on to Southermark, KE8SFS, our chess champion. What do you got going on this weekend? This is K8PMI.
I must be in trouble because I don't have a wife to tell me that I'm killing myself. But anyhow, we got 47 degrees here, mostly cloudy. Some sunshine is supposed to shine sometime today. High today is supposed to be 64 degrees. That's good, and tonight it's going to be 48 degrees. No rain in sight. Feels like 47 right now, and the wind is 14 miles per hour southwest. Gas price is $3.25 to $3.29 all around Ladner, and that it might drop today. You never know. And let me drop that for a bit. Yeah, anyhow, I won a couple games online last night on chess and that, doing okay and everything, and just laying on my bed right now and listening to you guys talking and enjoying myself and doing a little word search puzzle and that's pretty much it on that today. Today I might be doing some house cleaning again, but out of that, not too much. Out of that, that's pretty much it with me. So I'm going to give it back to you, Craig. Not Craig, Phil, excuse me. Kia at a Sarapop 0.
right, we'll be clear with KE8 SFS. You have a great weekend, Mark, and we'll catch you on down the log. Let's head on out to Akron. Randy, KD8 ZSH. What do you got for the net this morning? This is K8 PMI.
KD8 ZSH. Good morning, Phil. Good morning, everybody. Oh, getting off to actually a fairly good, decent start to the weekend. Got two pups here snoring away, and my daughter's doing just a little bit better, or at least holding her own. We've got several other doctor's appointments and blood tests scheduled for the near future, but just want to tell everybody appreciate the prayers. Keep them coming, because prayers work. Well, I hope you guys have a great weekend and are able to enjoy the days. KD8 ZSH clear and back to net. 73s, everybody.
All right, Randy, got you. You have a great day, and 73s to you as well. Let's head on over to Hiram. Kevin, KE8 EGH. What do you got for the net this morning? This is K8 PMI.
Good morning, everybody. I'm hoping I don't have to work any more Saturdays until April. We'll see what happens. Work's coming to crews are starting to dwindle down, and because of the weather, and we start our winter rebuilding of the machines. So, yeah, actually the winter's busier for me than the summer sometimes. But anyway, I got some running around to do today. I'm gonna do some stuff at the house, get some more painting maybe done. We'll see. Don't let my wife know I'm in the mood to do that. You know how that goes. But yeah. So everybody have a good day. Stay warm, and hopefully we'll talk to you next Saturday. KE8EGH.
All right, Kevin. Good to hear you. And yeah, I gave up painting. Now I got to pay somebody. It's just too monotonous for me. I'd rather be outside doing something. So, all right, you have a great day, and I won't tell your wife in case you change your mind and just want to sit back, watch football, and sip on a beer. So take care, Kevin. We'll catch you on down the log. Let's head on over to Tom, KA8MNT, and we'll get some humor here and lighten things up. What's going on, Tom? You're up next on the Barometer Net. This is K8PMI.
K8PMI. This is KA8MNT. Good morning, Phil, and everybody else that is on the net this morning. Well, it is light outside this morning with a very slight breeze out there. I see the leaves blowing a little bit, but it's not enough to register on my weather station, so not very windy out there. But the temperature out there right now is 51, 88% chance or 88% humidity, and there's been no rain out there, and the barometer's sitting at 29.74. Today's high is going to be a whopping 62 degrees, cloudy with a 53% chance of rain. So if y'all get yourselves out of bed this morning and get out there, and you may be able to get leaves raked up before it does start raining out. So keep that in mind. Otherwise, do what Linda's doing. She's all honkered down and nice and toasty, so she's happy. She's happy. I'm happy. Nothing else really going on. I've been playing around with a old laptop of mine that I put Linux on, and that's coming slow but sure. I just got to get a different mindset on how you install programs and stuff on there, because it's not like windows at all. So it's kind of crazy, but I'll get it one of these days. It's fun just sitting there trying. Okay, with that, I'm going to grab a quick nickel. K8MNT, return it. You know the old adage that a woman's place is in the kitchen. Well, that's not entirely true at all, because there are other rooms in the house that have to be cleaned too. So with that, I'm going to say 7 threes, everybody. Stay safe, stay healthy, and keep smiling. This is Kilo Alpha 8, Mike November Tango, turning everything over to the Saturday morning wonder, K8PMI.
K88MNT. I think I'll keep that joke a little quiet. My wife doesn't need to hear that one. But, yeah, that was a good one. All right, we'll be clear with Tom. You have a great day, sir, and we'll catch you down the log. Let's head on over to Shreve, A88CT. Craig, we missed you this morning. You were sleeping in, but that's good. You need to do that once in a while. This is K8PMI.
W8WKY.
8PMI. Good morning, Phil. Well, I got into the tail end of Jim, just at the very, very tail end. Got up, and I've got the weather isn't going to cooperate with all I want to get done, but I'm going to get as much done as I possibly can. So I will say good morning to all the Barometer Netters out there, and I hope your day goes as you wish. And yes, this is probably going to be one of the last days to get all those things done that require a little bit of warmth, perhaps, and yeah, it's going to be winter soon. So with that, I'm going to turn it back to you, Phil. Thank you for doing what you do, and we love hearing your voice in the mornings. So with that, A8CT, turning it back to K8PMI. Have a wonderful day, and all the Barometer Netters out there and the family in general. Just stay safe. Put a smile on somebody's face because it'll make you feel better. 73s, my friends. Take care.
A88CT, we'll be clear with you, and 73 to you as well. You have a great day. All right, now for my favorite report, the Lake Erie report. Scott has to look out his window and let me know what the lake looks like. KE8VOX, this is K8PMI. How's the lake doing? You're up next on the Barometer Net.
Good morning, Phil. Good morning, all the listeners. This is KE8VOX, Scott, up here on the shores of Lake Erie. We're starting out a beautiful day, just beautiful. I got my weather station going again, so that's even better. But starting out here at 58.1 degrees, no rain, light wind, well, about 6 miles an hour out of the south. Not a whole lot of wind for up here. But the lake temperature's 48 degrees and probably got maybe half-foot waves on it, right around there, 6 inches or so waves. So it's going to be a pretty nice day, and I imagine I got the fishing report this morning from over there at Kelly's Island, and the walleye are back in. They slayed them last night from the shoreline, limited out, and came up, biggest one was a 9-pounder. So that's back in there in case Fred KOC's listening. And that's about it weather-wise up here. It's going to be a nice day. Yesterday I was down and went to DXE and emptied my wallet there, but I stopped back at the Big Cheese, AA8 CS's QTH, and picked up my fall apparel, picked up a couple of baseball caps, and just wanted to say that John
UIB did a fantastic job. They just look great. I mean, I've never seen such stitching so good and all that stuff. He does a really fine job, and thanks for doing that all for the club, because he does fine work. But that's all I got, Bill. I'm gonna enjoy the day today and maybe do a little sapling trimming since it's nice outside. But that's about it. Gonna just enjoy it. This is KE8 VOX sending it back to net control. Thanks, Phil. 73. All right, Scott, thanks for that report. And those walleyes sound good. I'd love to fillet that 9-pounder and smoke it on my smoker. That would be awesome. But you have a great day. Thanks for the report, and we'll catch you on down the log. We'll be clear with KE8 VOX, and with all the kudos to John. I want to hook up with you once and want to get a special shirt made, but we'll talk about that at some meeting sometime, but I won't be there this Thursday, but I will hook up with you. But let's get on over to John, KE8 UIB, and you can tell us all about how you make the great apparel. John, you're up next. This is K8 PMI.
PMI from K8 UIB. Good morning, Phil. Everybody out there in the net. A super Saturday morning, and it is my first Saturday off in probably about 5 or 6 weeks. I'm happy to be off. I just unfortunately have no motivation to do much anything. We do have to go into Akron today. Going in to see the in-laws, and I have a granddaughter with a birthday, so we'll do that birthday party while we're up in Akron today also. And the apparel, Scott, thank you for the kind words, and I will let the lady know who handled the embroidery that it came out really, really great. I personally did not get to do the stitching on that. I did all the screen printing. Screen printing is my big talent, but I do some light embroidery and stuff for the company, and it's been a busy week at the shop. My new press came in last week, and it's a semi-automatic press. We had it up and running by Friday last week, and did a couple big 3-color jobs on it with some high-end garments this week, and it came out really good. And it feels so weird after all the years of me pulling the ink through the screen, watching a machine pull it for me. Just kind of crazy, that's for sure. But let me pause here real quick for time. But with that, to everybody who got apparel, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. I enjoy being able to print for the clubs. I do find it very ironic. I spent, from about the time I was 18 till a few years ago, big in the RC industry. And I've only been a ham for a few years. And I have printed more T-shirts for my friends in the ham community than I ever printed for my friends in the RC community. So that's kind of really, really great. I've been doing this for 29 years, and to be able to finally print stuff and embroider stuff for friends, that's really, really great. It gives a little bit of extra appreciation of the job you do. But that's enough rambling on. Well, and I will say Miss Lori, after next week, starts full-time with us at the company, too. But with that, that's enough rambling about the job. And you guys know me, I love to live that $5 dream, a nickel at a time. So this is KE8 UIB, and I will hand this back over to Net Control 7-3, y'all. And thanks for running the net, Phil.
KE8 UIB, well, that's great that KF8DTP is going to be working with you. Congratulations, and she actually is up next. Maybe with both of you working there, it's going to be living the $5 dream, a dime at a time. But we'll get it over to Lori and see what she thinks. KF8DTP, this is K8 PMI. You're up next.
K8 PMI from KF8DTP. What do I think? I think this is a great move on my part. I had been trying to get out of Family Dollar for a while now. I just was not happy there. But, I'm not going to ramble on about it like John did here, but I'm excited to do the move and to go up there. It's a completely different career change for me. I've done retail for almost 30 years now. So to go into screen printing, and I'm not actually printing, but just to go into that industry is a completely different ball game. So I'm really excited about it. And yeah, I sure hope that nickel turns to a dime for us. So with that, this is KF8 DTP Clear.
All right, Lori, thank you very much. We'll be clear with KF8 DTP. You and John have a great weekend. That brings me to the bottom of the list. We got about 10 minutes before the top of the hour, and I'm looking for more check-ins. Let me check one thing first, see if N8WS is available, because he's been in and out on the blue screen, and see if he's ready for his weather report. N8WS, this is K8PMI. You out there, Bill?
K8PMI in the group N8WS. Good morning, Phil. Good morning, Net. Sorry, I had to leave the radio for a while. You probably called me quite a while ago. Oh well, that's what happens sometimes. If you're ready, I'll break for time and give my report.
W8WKY.
Go ahead, Bill. You're up.
KPMI NHWS. Currently, air quality index is at 88. That's in the moderate range. My sunrise 7:16. My sunset 5:12. Length of day 9 hours 55 minutes. Currently, I have. Oh, come on, computer. There we go. 57 degrees. Humidity 83%. Wind is southwest to 10. Barometer 2982. 2.52 degrees. Visibility 10 miles. Prediction for today. A chance of rain mainly after 3 p.m. Cloudy with a high near 63. Breezy with a south wind 10 to 20 miles an hour. Will gust as high as 38. Chance of precipitation 30%. Solar flux indices at 145. Sunspot number 114. A is 5. K is 2. Geomagnetic field is quiet. No east skip predicted. Topo is at a 0. And spaceweather.com. X-class solar flare and CME. Sunspot 4274 erupted again yesterday, producing an X4 class solar flare. Unlike the previous explosion, this one was not directly facing Earth. Most of the CME will miss our planet. And what is a kilogram? That's an interesting article. Those sun explosions are displayed over time. There's several pictures. That's a very good article, too. If you got a chance to read that, take a shot and read that. Currently, there's 8 sunspot groups on the sun. Okay, that's about it for me. Everybody have a great weekend. KPMI in the group, 7-3 everyone, NHWS.
NAWS, thank you very much for your weather report, and glad we caught you. And it's no big deal if you have to walk away from the radio. So we'll catch you next time I'm NCO. So with that, that's the bottom of the list. We have 28 check-ins, and this is when we start getting busy. Everybody's rolling out of the rack. So this is the W8WKY Sarah Barometer Net Saturday morning edition. Your net control operator is Phil, K8PMI, and I'm looking for check-ins. Call now, please.
KF8EOG, Kilo Foxtrot 8, Echo Oscar Golf, Pete, in and out.
November 8th, Juliet, Kilo, Oscar, Joe in Willoughby, checking in.
KHKIZ, Kilo 8, Kilo India, Zulu, Avon Lake, check, in and out.
Kilo Charlie 8, November Oscar Victor, KC8 NOV, Marty Mobile, in and out.
Kilo 8, Papa Juliet Whiskey, K8PJW.
This is Kilo Foxtrot 8, Echo Romeo Zulu, Terry in Ellenville, West Virginia, KF8ERZ.
This is KB8LJ, checking in.
This is N8WHR, November 8, Whiskey, Hotel Romeo, Mike in Brunswick, in and out.
Kilo Delta 8, Charlie Mike November, 88 CMN, Harv in Worcester, and I'm also in and out.
All right, let me pick it up there. All right, I'll recognize the in and out stations, KF8 EOG. I had K8 KIZ. I had N8WHR. And I had KD8 CMN. They were in and out. Thank you very much. Then I have Joe, Marty. I have Phil. I have KF8ERZ. And I got you, Chuck. KB8LJ. So let's get to the top. Joe, N8JKO, you're up next on the Barometer Net.
Good morning, Net Control, and good morning, everybody on the net. This is N8JKO. Well, we got 52 degrees here in beautiful Willoughby, Ohio, along the north coast. It's about 80% humidity, but I kind of take that as a little grain of salt. We're next to a small creek that I think kind of, it kind of overwhelms the sensors from time to time. It's cloudy, but looking forward to a really great day today. Got a few
Welcome
projects.
to Brapple with the 5 Delta Juliet, Echo Link Repeater, Taichung, Taiwan,
33335008343213196.
N8JKO, back to Net Control.
Okay, Joe, thank you very much for joining us. We'll be clear with N8JKO. Let's head on over to Marty, KC8 NOV. You're up next on the Barometer Net.
Good morning, Phil, everyone on the net. Just want to jump in here and say good morning, everybody. Hope everybody has a good weekend. KC8 NOV.
Thank you very much for joining us, Marty. We'll be clear with KC8 NOV. Let's head on over to my neighbor, another K8 brother, K8 PJW. Phil, what do you got for us? And what's our history lesson today? This is K8 PMI.
K8 PMI, K8 PJW. Good morning, Phil. Good morning to the Barometer netizens out there. Great to hear everyone on this Super Saturday. Let's see, we're starting the day off here at 49 degrees, headed up to 63. It's a good thing. Albeit it's going to be Ohio gray all day, but that's okay. We're going to enjoy the warm temperatures, or warm for the season anyway. Barometer's at 2947, and gas is holding steady at 329. Let's see, yesterday we went around with one of those big checks, and we had made some donations to different organizations around town for hunger and for needy people. So that was a lot of fun to do. And then I want to remind everyone this morning at 11:30 for the VEs, there's an exam tools walkthrough, a Zoom session that Stefan put out. So don't forget about that. Yeah, I was put on notice by the XYL that today would be a good day to get some firewood.
So that's probably what we're going to do this afternoon. Also, I want to let everyone know that the Aries group is meeting this Wednesday, and they'll be meeting at the Summit County Communications Center instead of the normal Red Cross. That's where the EOC sets up whenever we go into an emergency situation. So that'll be interesting to see how they've developed that. With that, I'll take a break for time. So in 1837, Isaac Pitman introduces his shorthand system of writing called the Pitman shorthand. 1904, King C. Gillette patents the safety razor as the Gillette razor blade. In 1948, the first gas turbine electric locomotive in the United States was track tested in Erie, Pennsylvania. And in 2001, Microsoft releases the first Xbox game console in the U.S. And that's the way it was. This is KAPJW. Back to the net.
W8WKY.
All right, Phil, thank you very much. Good history lesson. Always like to hear it. And you take care, and we'll catch you on down the log. We'll be clear with KAPJW. Let's head on over to Ellenboro, West Virginia, KF8ERZ. Terry, what do you got for the net this morning?
Yeah, this is KF8ERZ. Good morning, Phil. I don't have too much to add, just getting my day started. It's 48 degrees here in Ellenboro this morning, kind of warmer than it has been. Kind of rainy and drizzly, but I guess we need some rain. It's good to hear everybody on the net this morning. Good to hear you run the net, and thank you for taking my check-in. And I just want to wish everyone a wonderful weekend, and looks like it's going to be kind of dreary here in West Virginia, but it's supposed to turn real nice next week, so I look forward to that. But I don't have too much to add. Just wanted to get my check in there and just say everyone have a great day. So with that, I'll say 73s and God bless. This is KF8ERZ.
KF8ERZ, thank you very much, and thank you for joining us, and God bless you as well. Let's head on over to North Bedstead. Chuck, what do you got going on this morning? KB8LJ, this is K8PMI. You're up next.
K8PMI from KB8LJ. Good morning, everybody out there in the net. Haven't been hearing much from me lately because I've been laying around doing lots of listening and lots of thinking. But one thing I got on my agenda for today is I have to try to figure out how to get my Amazon login working. I won't go into all the details there, but there's just some dumb engineering on the part of Amazon in the way they have some of that stuff set up. And one other thing I was going to comment on is a little while ago our friend Lori was talking about having a new job and being fairly happy about it. And I know another lady also named Lori, and so I'll distinguish between them as Lori number 1 and Lori number 2. Lori number 1, of course, being the lady we all know on the Barometer Net. And I seem to have a strange ability to kind of read the mood of ladies named Lori. And Lori number 1 sounds like she's really happy with this new job situation, and you can sure tell it on the air. And so congratulations, Lori number 1, and I hope it remains fabulously happy for you. And one final comment. And this will be primarily for BJN and the weather. I'm still grappling with how on earth changes in barometric pressure cause migraines and arthritis and all that kind of thing. Because as I pointed out, all you got to do is go from bottom of a very tall building to the top in the elevator, and you got a bigger barometric change than you do in most days, but yet I've never heard anybody claim to have migraines and headaches from riding elevators in tall buildings, or for that matter, well, down there in Tennessee, he's got mountains that all you got to do is go up and down them, and you got some good pressure changes. So I think the whole thing has to correlate to something else rather than pressure changes. Like maybe it all something like that. So KB8LJ, back to net.
All right, KB8LJ, we'll be clear with you. I don't know. I'm in the elevator business, and I ride them every day, work on them, and I'll tell you, they give me headaches all the time. Hi. But other than that, thanks a lot, Chuck, and we'll catch you on down the log. That brings me to the bottom of the list. We're past the top of the hour. I didn't even do a last call yet, so I'll see if anybody else is out there. We'll make this the last round because I got to mow the yard and pick up the final leaves and all of that. So this is the W8WKY Sarah Barometer Net Saturday morning edition with your net control operator, Phil, K8PMI, and I'm looking for our last check-ins. I'm listening. Sorry, I was repeating myself again. I'm listening. Call now, please.
Kilo Delta 8, Quebec Mike Papa, KD8 QMP, Thomas in Olmsted Township.
Kilo Echo 8, Tango Lima Bravo, KE8 TLB, just rolled out of the sack.
All right, I'll pick it up there. We got two pretty good net. We hit 40, didn't get our 42, but let's get it over to KD8 QMP. You're up next on the Barometer Net.
Well, this is KD8 QMP. Good morning, Phil. Everybody on the net there, and good morning to all the listeners. This morning I got 53 degrees and overcast skies. And it's a nice change compared to the mid to upper 30s we've had basically all week when I get up here. But other than that said, I just wanted to check in. I appreciate you taking me, and I'll turn it back to net control. Everybody have a great weekend. Hopefully I can get back on again Monday morning when the net resumes. So take care. Back to net control. KD8 QMP 73 all.
All right, Thomas, thank you very much, and hopefully I hear you Monday. We'll be clear with KD8 QMP. Let's head on over to Randy. I know he's not in his brake truck, but if he just rolled out of the rack, he may be eating a donut with a cold glass of milk to get him going before his big Saturday morning breakfast. KE8 TLB, what's going on with you, Randy? This is K8PMI.
Hey, brother. This is Kilo Echo 8, Tango Lima Bravo, KE8 TLB. Good morning, everyone, and good morning to you too, Phil. You do a great job, man. I try to get down here and check in. So, well, I got my grass cut yesterday, and so today I want to try to put some rear shocks on my wife's car. I started on it last night, and I got top two done, and of course, there's always got to be one of them. The bottom one, man, I worked on it last night, and it's in there. So I actually got some new bolts for it. So I'm gonna try to get them out of there. It's probably gonna be an all-dayer trying to get that out. I tried to put a wrench on it. Man, that sucker just is not budging. After last night, I put the impact on it, put heat on it, and everything else. So Yay! I'm going to have fun today, and I hope you have fun, and I hope everyone has fun today. It's going to be a beautiful Saturday. So this is Kilo Echo 8, Tango Lima Bravo, KE8 TLB 73, and God bless, and thanks for getting me in, Phil.
KE8 TLB, thank you very much, and 73 is to you as well, and God bless you as well. Thank you for what you do for the club and always being there. All right, I need 2 check-ins. I want to get Carrie number 42. So I'll do one more last call, like Mark said on the blue screen, be an auctioneer. Do I have 2 more people that can check in? This is K8PMI. Call them out, please.
W8WKY.
KF8 CLO, Mark, mobile.
Kilo Zulu 8, Tango Golf, KZ8TG, Tim and Navarre.
All right, let me pick it up there. Tim, I got you. I had a K something 8 CLO. Can you come back, please?
KF8 CLO, Kilo Foxtrot 8, Charlie Lima Oscar.
Got you. Thank you for clarifying. There was somebody else that crashed with Tim. Can you come back with your call, please?
Kilo Delta 8, India Uniform Alpha, KD8 IUA, Mike and Stowe.
All right, we hit 42, KF8, CLO. What do you got for the net this morning? This is K8PMI.
Not a whole lot, just out with my Amish crew. We're doing gutters this morning in Bangbridge. Do this every year. Do about 200 houses with blow out the gutters and wipe down the sides of the house or hose them off, whichever it's easiest. And this is the first weekend, so we got 3 or 4 more weeks, and we kind of skip Thanksgiving. So other than that, I'm going to send it back to the net, and 73 is all, and have a nice Saturday.
KF8 CLO, thank you very much, and thank you for jumping in there and giving us one for the numbers. Don't be a stranger, and please check in. All right, let's head out to Stowe. Mike, KD8 IUA. You're up next on the Barometer Net.
Good morning, Phil. Thank you for running the net today. It's been enjoyable listening, and just finished a good breakfast, and I'm going to be heading out shortly and visiting with some people, going to farmers market. Might take portable radio with me and try to do some POTA. So just looking for a day to get some stuff done before it gets really chilly. So back to you, KD8 IUA 73.
All right, Michael, we'll be clear with KD8 IUA. Thank you again for coming back, and you have a great day. Tim, KZ8TG, I had you checked in really early. I figured you were going to work, but what do you got going on? And I'm glad the government shutdown's over with and your paychecks are cashable now. So sending it over to you. This is K8PMI.
Good morning, Phil. Good morning, everybody on the net. Yeah, I'm glad it's over, too. I think most people are. No, I'm not working. I'm not going to work. I'm at home today, so I'm looking forward to getting outside. It's nice outside. I have been outside, and I'm looking forward to getting some yard work done myself. Till the garden down one last time. I like to throw all the leaves and all of the compost and everything on and till it in one last time and let it simmer for next spring, and do some garage work and maybe some tree work, some light tree work today. Just trying to take advantage of the temperature before it rains. So with that, I'll pass it back to you, and I'll let you tie the ribbons on it. KZ8TG.
All right, we'll be clear with KZ8TG. And Carrie, W8CTM, warming up those vocal cords in the bullpen there. I got you number 42 for Saturday. That's an outstanding net. Everybody, this was probably the best net I think I've had doing. Everybody checked in perfect. I just want to thank you all for being great participants, because obviously I can't do it without good hands like you guys out there, and I greatly appreciate it. So let's send it over to Carrie, W8CTM. This is K8PMI. Can you give me your final thoughts and close this thing out? Uh-oh, it looks like Carrie slept in and he's not available. So let me do this. Do I have one person that wants number 42? Call now, please. This is K8PMI.
This is Alpha Bravo 8, Alpha Victor, AB8AV. I'll be in and out.
Joe, you will not be in and out. AB8AV, give me something. You're our tail gunner, and you're number 42, so you're the answer to everything. AB8AV, this is K8PMI.
Oh, I'll tell you what, I'll give you this. I have leaves to rake. I wish they'd disappear. I have trees with still green leaves on them. So with that, that'll be my project for today. And with that, everyone have a good day. 7-3. Nice talking to you, Phil.
Thank you very much, Joe, and I appreciate it. Love hearing you on the morning. Sometimes I can't talk to you because I'm a little bit too far from the repeater, but I hear you out there, and God bless you, and you have a great day. I'm going to be doing the work outside as well, so I'll come with my preamble here. Let me have everything reset. This is K8PMI. The Barometer Net is a tradition that goes back almost 30 years when a local group of amateurs got together in the morning to discuss their weather station data. We are grateful for all those who have come before us: Garlock, K8BYR, Dorothy, WB8JTW, Tom, K8DSD, and our net control emeritus, Ron, KD8CVS. Over the years, the Barometer Net has grown to be a morning staple for local hams to stay in contact, share real-time traffic, gas price information, and community announcements. This net meets regularly Monday through Saturday, starting at 7 a.m. and runs for about an hour. Successful nets rely on your participation, so please be a regular check-in. From the Silvercreek Amateur Radio Association on the WAWKY repeater, 147 Mark 39 megahertz in Doylestown, we now return this frequency to regular amateur radio use. 73, everybody. This is K8PMI.
Still around, Mark? K4OG, W8TD.
W8TD, K4OG. What's going on, John?
Oh, nothing too much. I was listening to your story, and yeah, I understand exactly the concerns. I mean, you know and I know that the fact that you're on a tower has nothing to do with triggering an episode, but it can happen at any time. And if you happen to be on a tower when one hit, you know, they'd have to get a crane or a helicopter to get you down, at least if yours is like mine. I mean, I've never been airsick or seasick in my life, but coincidentally, I was on a flight to Barcelona when one hit, I puked my way across the ocean. I think if there'd been a place to put down and get rid of me, they would have. Fortunately, I think they presumed I was drunk. So I wound up where I needed to be. Yeah, that was miserable. So yeah, it can happen. Even though it's a coincidence, it can happen.
W8WKY.
Yeah, Roger. 'Cause the worst one I had was here in the kitchen, and I was describing it to the wife and the doctor and whoever else wanted to hear it. I was just doing my little preparing some kind of meal or sandwich or something, and yeah, they hit just all of a sudden out of the blue, no warning, no nothing, and just all of a sudden I felt weird, and I knew I had to grab onto the counter to hold myself steady, and even doing that, I could not steady myself, and I knew I was going to the ground. To the floor I went, hands and knees, and all I could do was crawl to the bathroom and deal with it in there. And, yeah, I know it can happen anytime. She does too. So it's always on my mind. And, it's unlikely, but a tower is the worst place you want to be for an accident because you can't get medical attention while you're dangling from a tower. If that's just the case, rescuers have to get you off the tower first, and I don't think rescuers they appreciate that very much. So we'll just try to avoid all the complications after this. K4OG.
Yeah, it's debilitating. And at least for me, the episodes don't end until the switch in the brain doesn't get reset until I lose consciousness. So I either have to fall asleep or pass out. And if I'm somewhere where I can't fall asleep, then yeah, I don't know. Worst I had, it hit me in the morning, and I wasn't at home. Finally, in the afternoon, it seemed to be settling down some, so I got a ride home, and by the time I got home, I knew I was in trouble again, so I just went to the emergency room. Of course, they couldn't do anything but pump me full of anti-nausea meds, which eventually did kick in. But yeah, that was a 12-hour episode. And until we got diagnosed, that was happening every week or two. Yuck. However, it is now November 2025, and I have been clean for, I think, 3 years. I think my last episode was November 3 years ago. So hooray for that. K4OG W8TD.
Yeah, Roger. I was telling the wife that you haven't had an episode for the longest time, and I was hoping, I thought it was longer than that. And, I was telling her, and that's the good side, but the downside is when it stops, well, then you're usually completely deaf in that ear, the troublesome one that causes the imbalance. I feel like a kid again when I go climbing up a tower. It's fun, like climbing up a tree. And there is that little bit of excitement, like, hey, you slip and something's going to happen. And I'm very aware today. I'm like, all right, today it's humid and the metal may be a little slippery. I got to think about my boots. I haven't tried these boots on to fit in those little crevices, how they're going to fit. Yeah, just every little thing encompasses climb. Oh, like in the bucket truck, last time I was up in Ron's, replacing the cable, I had to think about the physics of taking that cable up 60 feet and how much weight was pulling down on it as I went up there, you know, and don't want to be entangled in that cable, but I had it one end secured underfoot while I was slowly going up and just measuring the resistance of the cable. And yeah, there's a whole lot of factors, and I haven't had any training whatsoever. I've taken OSHA courses, maybe not in-depth tower climbing, but yeah, a lot of factors you got to take in consideration with what you're doing and your environment. Like we've got to observe how secure the thing is. Yeah, but anyway, not a big deal. Don't anticipate any problems, and like I say, that event's highly unlikely, but it worries the wife, and I promise this will be the last one. And the goal was to get a good test spot for Jim's Attic Masters, and I'll be happy when that's done. K4OG.
Certainly a worthy project. I feel bad. I had offered to give Jim some detailed reports on my experience, but things conspired. You know, I left shortly after the thing arrived. Since I got back, the weather hasn't been great, and I'm still not sorted out. I still have a box of mail. I haven't gone through the mail that arrived during the trip yet. I hope there's nothing important in there. So, yeah, I've done nothing with the one I've got, except look at it, and it looks nice. I like the coil construction. So if we can get a test bid from somebody that'll actually do something, unlike me, that's a good thing for the community and for Jim. Yeah, I never used to care about towers. In the 70s in the Canton Radio Club, I was on the tower crew. You know, we'd go out and help members with whatever. Put them up, take them down, work on antennas that were on them. Although, bear in mind that in those days, Roan wasn't around, or at least not in the ham community. So we didn't have those skinny little wire things to stand on. And most of the towers were self-supporting, so they were 24-inch or 36-inch, separation between the uprights. Those towers are a lot easier and more comfortable to climb. When I put my tower up in the 80s, I went with Roan, and every time I went up that, those little skinny rails would run comfortable on the feet. I actually bought a little platform that you take up with you and hook it in the rails, and then you could stand on that. Made it somewhat more pleasant. But yeah, I mean, those days are gone. I can't safely do that. Buckets, let me reset. I never planned on doing anything in buckets, but I did some. I worked on a lot of power line carrier equipment where they send information on the transmission lines from one substation to another. And of course, if you try to put an RF signal on a transmission line that is terminated in a huge transformer, well, that eats all the signal. It's very low impedance. So you'd have to have wave traps, which were big cylindrical coils that could actually pass the current, the full current of the transmission line went through these coils. And you had a capacitor pack in them, and you tune them by adjusting a tap on the coil. And we would tune them on the ground, of course, and then the guys would put them up there, and they'd work. But occasionally we'd have to go up and they'd replace a trap, or we'd have to go up and tune it in place. So buckets. And the line you're working on is disconnected, of course, and grounded. But that next line, 30 feet over, it's still hot. You're inducing stuff. We'd have to have a long clip lead. We would clip it to the trap and then to our watch band to keep us at the same potential as the trap, so that as it got induced to a higher voltage, you were too. Otherwise, every time you touch the thing, you'd get zapped. That was a fun job at one time, looking back. That was during the good years, before the job got not good. K4OG, W8TD.
WATD. Yeah, John, well, don't worry about giving Jim data on your antenna. We'll get him some data real soon. And he's got that stuff all marked out, like the traps. I think he needs 47 picofarads, so he's got it marked exactly how many winds, how the length on the coil he needs, and he makes it like that every time because he knows that's where about 47 picofarads is, and he's got his measurements for his 20 and the little pigtail for the 40 after the traps. As long as he stretches out his arms the correct number of times, he's right on the money. Yeah, we'll give you some data. Yeah, and I don't think I would ever want to be a lineman making myself the same potential as, let's say 500 kV. No. And, I look up the wires sometimes and I see all those European starlings or something, and see, I'm like, okay, y'all are at the same potential. And, no, I wouldn't want to do that. Just, like the poor old squirrel that stretches from the live wire over to something grounded. Wham! That's an impressive sight. No, I don't want to be the same potential as high voltage. I don't think anybody can blame me there. So more power to the lineman and you when you did it. K4OG, back to WATD. No, yeah. Anyway, John.
Well, it was different. I don't think I ever knew anybody else who ever actually worked on power line carrier. So it was, and that was during my younger days when I was fascinated by anything radio. So the job really, I really enjoyed it, and I was exposed to strange things like that. So it was cool. Yeah, I never tried to measure it to see, the next line over might have we didn't have any 765. We had 345. So the next line over might have 345 on it, running parallel to the line you're on for some miles. So I don't know what voltage was induced, but it was significant. Wasn't 345, but it was a bunch. You figure in dry air, it takes about 25 kV to do a 1-inch arc. We could draw an arc longer than that. You had to put the clip on really fast. Fun stuff. I don't suppose there's any plans to actually do any testing today. I can bring an antenna analyzer with me. I know. Everybody's got these nano VNAs. Hell, I picked one up just because everybody else had one. but I've never used it. The Rig Expert analyzers, they just really please me, and they're really easy to use, and the display is pretty big, and I'm much happier with my Rig Expert, so I could bring that. I'll tell you what, that is the nuts for tuning a mag loop antenna. I figured it would be, and yeah, it is. Trying to tune one of those looking at an SWR meter, you'd lose your mind. K4OG WATD.
WATD. Yep. Been there, done that. Tuning, watching the meter with a homemade mag loop. Turning that knob until it finally comes into 50 ohms. Yeah, that's quite fun for the frequency you want. But yeah, I'm with you. I don't mess around with the nano VNAs anymore. I'm a Rig Expert man myself. I got a couple. One that even goes up to at least UHF. There was a need for that. And you can bring yours too, and we can make sure everybody's antenna analyzer works as projected, or even compare the results. That would be fun. I like that idea. There you go. Yeah, and yeah, even 69 kV. I wouldn't be comfortable with that. And that's a pretty common one around here.
Yeah, well, high tension stuff is, it's a different world. So you'd have a lead coming down from the hot side of the trap into a tuning box that would, match it down to like 50 ohms to hook up to a piece of RG8, just normal 50 ohm coax into the station where the carrier transmitter receiver is. And there's a capacitor in there between the network and the line that goes up to the trap. And every now and then one of those capacitors would short. And yeah, just a couple of times, the line would be, the carrier wouldn't be working, and I'd go out and pop open the box to look at the tuning network, and be nothing in there but smoke. The capacitor had shorted and blew everything out. Oops. Glad I wasn't standing there when that happened.
Oh man, yeah, I'm glad you weren't standing there either. Yeah, there's bizarre stuff that happens out there. Even some of our guys have had some strange experiences out there in the substation. Stuff starts turning glowing hot. Yeah. And I'm glad I don't have to go out to the substations anymore. A lot of them, are unmanned and dusty, and critters like to inhabit those places, and you just never know what you find. Or have to clean out. Yeah, I'm glad I don't have to go out to those substations anymore. K4OG, back to WATD.
Yeah, man. Well, when I bought my Rig Expert, I cheaped out. I got the one that only goes up to 6 meters, figuring I'd never really care what was going on at VHF or UHF anyway, and the price difference was more than substantial. So if I ever had to analyze a VHF UHF antenna, I would have to dig out the nano. But you never have to. At least I never have to. I did an experiment today. I've got the Flex with a transverter on it out in the shack, and it's connected full-time to a 2-meter horizontal antenna up reasonably high. I use it for FT8 and single sideband and CW, but not for FM. But today I set it up on the repeater input so I could listen to everybody on the net. And K8TLB I could hear. He was the only guy I could hear. I didn't hear anybody else. So that cross-polarization did me in. I wanted to see what I could do for simplex, just in case there's some local activity there. I do have a VHF UHF antenna up on another mast that I'm not using. So I'll have to go find the end of that cable and hook it up to the transverter and try the experiment again. I'm sure it'll be a lot more effective. Just in case I want to play simplex games. Because, here in the house, or in the office, and in the bedroom upstairs, both are just connected to indoor antennas, so not much hope of any simplex activity. I've got the analyzer out because I was playing with the loop. So, I'll grab it. Bring it along. I even put fresh batteries in it. This is the first time I ever replaced the batteries in this thing. It's not something you use every week. So you essentially get shelf life out of the batteries. I've had it for several years. And I don't think it even needed them yet. But just seemed prudent. So it's got fresh batteries in it. Hooray. Oh, what else? I don't know. But yeah, keep me posted. I got the address looked up and I know where to go. So if somebody alerts me to go there, I can hop in the car and be on my way. And I don't know. I've been involved in antenna projects. The last antenna project I was involved in, I just stood there and watched Ron. Came over with a bucket and did everything. I wasn't much help. But we got a lot done. We got everything done I wanted. Got the proper antenna up high for the GMRS repeater that I'm testing. And the VHF UHF antenna that had been up there, we took it off and relocated it to the other unused mast where I had previously had a HF vertical. So that's up pretty high. I don't have the best feed line on it because I was using that for HF. So it's just RG8. But it's, it'd probably be 50-foot run, and 50 feet of RG8 and 2 meters, good enough for the girls we know. K40.
Timeout, 15-second lock. Timeout, end.
WATD K4OG. All right, man. You're getting about as good as let's see. Let me escape my name. Anyway, I'm gonna switch over to my thought. Yeah, the comparison of the analyzers, I would enjoy that. And replacing the battery is in the back of my mind. As soon as I get cleaned up, I got to go down there and check the battery at least. I keep that one in the car all the time, the HF rig. And what else? So your polarity killed you on your VHF experiment. It reminded me of Jim. Now, he's got some J-poles, fantastic looking aluminum J-poles. Some fellow named Shepard made them. And these things to me look like a work of art. They're sweet. They they don't look like a copper pipe. They're aluminum of some machine-type metal. He mentioned also that he'd made a one that you can change, and it sounded like by just pulling a pin, you could, it rotated in the center, I guess, from vertical to horizontal. And I thought that was quite interesting. Jim said he loaned it to somebody who passed away, and then had noted to his wife, make sure Jim gets that back. So Jim's got an interesting setup somewhere of an antenna that you can rotate it either vertical or horizontal. Now, it may be something like a 6 meter. Not sure if it was, not sure which band it was, but that was quite intriguing when I found that out. K4OG.
Well, as you can see, I disabled the timeout timer on this radio because I got tired of it beeping at me. How long did I have it dumped for?
Just the normal 15 seconds, I believe. It wasn't long. Yeah, I was going to say, well, you're getting about as good as AMX there, the way he used to do it. And we always rooted for him doing it.
Yeah, when I was a repeater owner back in the 70s, there was a couple of guys that didn't pay a whole lot of attention to time. Well, I mean, I remember when 2 meters was 146.94. There weren't no repeaters, and everybody was on the same simplex channel. And there's a couple of old guys that would. It was like 75 meters AM today. They'd throw the switch and talk until their jaws got tired, and then they would let go of the switch. So, 10, 15, 20-minute transmissions were not unusual. And some of those guys had some trouble transitioning to repeater operation. I had a CW identifier on the repeater, but that was back when I went to Dayton every year looking for oddball stuff. I liked strange things and oddball things. And I found a voice identifier from the day. And this was not electronic. This had about a 10-inch disc with magnetic tape glued to the perimeter of it. And it would, when it was triggered, it would rotate that disc 360 degrees. And there was just a typical, audio tape head. And it would just play whatever was on that magnetic tape. So at one point, I didn't want to use a voice IDer. It just was a cool gadget. But I recorded, gotcha, on that device, and I had it set up so that when I recovered from a timeout, it would trigger that. And I found it amusing. I don't know if the other guys did or not.
Well, I certainly find that amusing, so I'm sure the others did too. That's very, very unique and playful. I like it. Let's see, what else was on my mind? Something. The Rig Experts. When I first got that HF Rig Expert, it seemed like something was a little off as I was checking bands on antennas, and I was like, well, let's check a firmware upgrade. And I think I did one of those, and then something still seemed a little off. And I think I discovered there was, since those things are made over there in, I guess, Ukraine, that it was a European band version that I was using, and then I figured out how to get it over to, I guess, the U.S. bands. Does that make any sense? K4OG.
yes on Ukrainian source, and never thought about whether you'd worry about bands, but yeah, I'm sure it's possible. 99% of the time I set mine at 15 megahertz, and then I do a span of plus or minus 15. That's certainly how I used it when I was tuning the mag loop, so I could watch it as it approached the band I was worried about. I really, really like that thing. And even the HF version was kind of pricey, but it does what it does. It does it so well, and it's so easy to read. Kind of portable. Came with a decent protective case. You could throw it in the car and leave it in the car. I never have. I drove around for decades with a whole trunk full of stuff. But I don't do that no more. No field service for me. I'm lucky if I get around to servicing stuff here that needs attention. At this point, I think almost everything in the shack is operational, except my AM transmitter, my 32V3 on the AM operating desk isn't running. And I'm kind of starting to realize that I'm never going to do anything about that, given that it's been several years and I haven't yet. So I'm like everybody else. All I can do is watch to see what I do next. But it's looking to me like I'm never going to get around to fixing that thing. Oh well, stuff I actually use more frequently is working. And fortunately, I can remote into the Flex, so I can get some use out of the shack without having to physically go out there, and that's nice because I don't physically go out there. Don't remember any other hanging comments. I think we're even at this point. K4OG W8TD.
All right, W8TD. Well, you know, I pick up you're a fan of efficiency, so yeah, just what you use most is what you want to work the best. So there you go. One other thing that just crossed my mind, which I thought was neat, and we were talking about tuning the mag loops, is putting the I had an MFJ analyzer with the meter and tuning the air capacitor to get to the frequency I wanted. I had my radio on whatever frequency I was trying to match, and it was fun to once you got close you could hear the signal on the HF rig, and so you heard what the analyzer was transmitting. I thought that was interesting.
That little MFJ analyzer, that thing sold like hotcakes, and there was a good reason for it. Boy, I adopted one of those when they happened. Especially since back in the day, your radios, only covered the ham bands. So if your antenna was resonant somewhere outside the band, you couldn't really tell where. Whereas with the analyzer, I could tell where it was resonant, which meant I knew which way to go and how far. Nowadays with general coverage radios, and most of them have the CB mod in them, so they'll go anywhere. Your SWR meter is a lot more useful, but it's still horribly clumsy compared to a nice analyzer that just tells you and shows you and breaks it down. What is the actual radiation resistance? That's the only number that matters. I mean, if it's 1-to-1, but you're only 5 ohms radiation resistance, your efficiency is terrible. Which I guess, is a pretty good definition for how a mag loop antenna works. K4OG W8TD.
Yeah, Roger, Roger. But the mag loop, I noticed it had pretty good ears, at least better than or comparable to what I had at the time. I think I had at the time, I was just using ham sticks in a dipole configuration, trying to reach out to those contests, special events, the W. After I got it oriented right, and like I say, I had good ears, so I was impressed. K4OG.
Well, this one was set up in the office, and this place is 100 years old, so the walls have lath in them, which is a pretty good cage. And I was surprised. I could really hear with that thing. I could just tune up and down the band. Signals everywhere. So yeah, it's surprisingly effective as a receiving antenna. And also, I knew in theory they should be pretty directional. But yeah, it really is. I tried spinning it around a bit, and yeah, huge difference. So we'll see. I haven't actually made any contacts with it yet, but the results are encouraging so far. I need to get it outside. I made a couple of calls with it there in the living room, but I didn't expect any result and didn't get any. So that was no big surprise, and I didn't spend a lot of time at it. The big hope is that despite the inefficiency of these tiny portable antennas and the handicap of operating QRP, that I can still make some phone contacts. I don't intend to bust any pile-ups, but I'd like to be able to make some contacts. Failing that, I can go to CW, and if even that don't work, I can go to FT8. But the baseline goal is I want to be able to do demonstrations on the ships. And, CW or FT8 aren't going to be a very suitable demo. They're going to expect to see somebody talking to somebody, so I have to hope that something's identifying. I have to hope that I can actually make phone contacts with a K4OG W8TD.
It's all very interesting and worthwhile endeavors, so I'm rooting for you. And I know the environment is going to be totally different on a ship, but mag loop sounds very interesting out there. If you got a portable one, and try it. Very interested in seeing what that does. So, very cool, John. On you're trying to, I guess, get a demo going on ship. Very, very cool. You will be probably increase your value as a speaker once you get a ham demo set up like that successful. That would be awesome. All right, John, I'm going to have to start thinking about getting presentable and fettable before my blood sugar drops or something, and start getting on with this wonderful day of hamming stuff. Looking forward to seeing you, and we'll give you a shout-out as soon as we hear something from Dave. K4OG, back to W8TD.
It's a deal, Mark. And yeah, I better get downstairs and see about breakfast, because it sounds like we'll be eating kind of late. And yeah, I got to try to. I'm the luckiest guy in the world for sugar control. I get away with a lot, but there's no use pushing it. So I'll get something to eat now so that I'm safe to ride into the afternoon. Yeah, ham radio games. Yay. I never get to do this anymore. So, yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. Sounds like fun to me. If we get another warm weekend, if Indian summer hits, maybe I'll set the thing up on the deck and see if any locals want to come over and help me play. I think that would be an entertaining day. Talk to you soon. K4OG, W8TD on the way out.
73's Don. K4OG clear.